Michael, what's today's audio topic?
It's a continuation of last time.
It's about the preamp output of the SOULNOTE A-0. Master, you want to hear about the preamp output of the A-0 too, right?
Yes, I want to hear about it.
Did the sound change when you used the A-0 as a preamp?
Using the A-0 as an integrated amp wasn't good, but using it as a preamp made a significant difference in the sound.
How did it change?
The SNR is completely different. When using the A-0 as an integrated amplifier, the SNR was low and the sound was muffled. However, when using the A-0 as a preamp, the SNR improved and the resolution increased.
That's interesting. What equipment did you use?
The audio source was Amazon Music. The network streamer was LinkPlay's WM Ultra. The DAC was SMCell's SU9 Pro. And the speakers were B&W's 705S3. The DAC and A-0 were connected via XLR. I used the A-0 preamp output terminals to connect the SMCell PA200 as the power amplifier. Last time, I compared the A-0 and PA200, but this time, the A-0 and PA200 work together. There are two connection patterns, using one PA200 and using two PA200S.
Isn't one power amplifier enough?
One power amplifier is sufficient. However, the A-0 has two sets of pre-out terminals. I am fortunate to have two PA200 units. Therefore, I also tested a biamp configuration using two PA200 units in a monaural connection.
What is a monaural connection biamp?
It's using independent amplifiers for each channel to reproduce stereo sound. I connected the left two channels and right two channels to each PA200, using the two sets of pre-out terminals on the A-0. From the PA200, I connected the left and right two channel signals to the 705S3 via bi-wiring.
Using separate power amplifiers for each channel is quite luxurious.
That's true, but since each PA200 costs 65,000 yen, using two isn't that much of a burden. Note that when using the PA200 as a power amplifier, you need to turn off its volume control. Volume adjustment is done via the A-0, and the PA200 is used as a power amplifier.
I see. Did the sound change when you used the A-0 as a preamp and the PA200 as a power amp?
Yes, I was disappointed when I used the A-0 as an integrated amp. I thought about not trying the preamp output terminals, but I'm glad I tried the A-0 preamp output just in case.
How did the sound change when using two PA200S in a biamp configuration?
Using one PA200 already made a dramatic difference in sound quality, but using two PA200S resulted in even higher quality sound.
How exactly did it change?
The signal-to-noise ratio improved further. It felt completely different from using the A-0 integrated amplifier with enhanced transparency.
Why did the sound change so much when adding the PA200 as a power amplifier?
Maybe it's because of the negative feedback circuit in the PA200? I'm not sure.
Doesn't the A-0 use a non-feedback circuit?
No, that's not the case. According to the A-0 website, even when using the pre-out, the output comes from a non-feedback amplifier.
Is the sound different between the A-0 plus PA200 combination and the PA200 alone?
They're completely different. A-0 plus PA200 has a natural, uncolored sound. On the other hand, the sound of the PA200 alone has a glossy quality. The resolution feels higher with A0 plus PA200, but the PA200 alone isn't bad either.
Can the PA200 alone reproduce stereo sound, or does adding an additional device like the A0 plus PA200 combination result in higher resolution?
In my experience, that's the case. I understand that replacing equipment can improve resolution. However, I was surprised to learn that sometimes adding a power amplifier while using the integrated amplifier's preamp function can improve sound quality.
So adding equipment can sometimes improve the sound quality.
I used to think that fewer devices and shorter signal paths were better for sound quality. From the perspective of signal degradation, fewer devices are better, but this consideration has overturned that belief.
That's interesting.
After thinking about the reason, it's because the sound we hear isn't just an audio signal.
What do you mean?
Human hearing isn't linear like a measuring instrument. It's ambiguous. Considering this review, adding a power amplifier would degrade the signal. But to me, adding a power amplifier made the sound feel significantly better.
So even if the signal degrades, it still sounds better to the ear?
Exactly. Our ears are analog, not digital. Thinking about it that way, adding equipment makes the sound feel better.
I see.
Additionally, not only the A0, but also other integrated amplifiers may have pre-out terminals. I think that means the manufacturer is saying it's okay to add a power amplifier to change the sound.
Audio is really deep.
That said, I didn't expect the sound to change this much by adding the PA200 to the A0.
Will Michael use the A0 plus PA200 combination?
No, I won't use the A0.
The A0 plus PA200 combination must sound good, right?
The sound quality of A0 plus PA200 isn't bad, but there are two things about A0 that bother me, so I won't continue using it.
What are the two things that bother you?
The first is the humming noise from the transformer. As I mentioned last time, I'm bothered by the humming noise from A0 when it's silent.
Wouldn't adding a power strip eliminate the humming noise?
I haven't tried a power strip, so I'm not sure, but the manufacturer says it would. The manufacturer recommended power strip costs around 70,000 yen. I don't feel like adding a 70,000 yen power strip to a 120,000 yen amplifier. It's better to switch to another amplifier than to continue using the A0 at that cost. Some people might not notice this humming noise, but I'm very sensitive to subtle noise.
Michael, you're sensitive, aren't you?
I don't think I'm sensitive. I just think this is normal. But relatively speaking, I'm the type of person who notices small details. For example, I also notice unnecessary bright LEDs on devices. The second thing that bothers me about the A0 is that it doesn't have a remote control.
You're bothered by the fact that you can only adjust the volume on the device itself?
That's right. I often play playlists on subscription services. With a single album, the recorded volume is generally consistent. However, with playlists featuring songs by various artists, the volume often varies.
You mean it goes from a low volume to a sudden loud volume?
Exactly. That's unavoidable since the recording levels are different. In such cases, a remote control would allow you to quickly lower the volume. But with the A0, you have to adjust the volume on the main unit each time, which can be quite inconvenient. The A0 has features like XLR terminals and pre-out terminals, which are enjoyable for audio enthusiasts. But it wasn't to my liking.
You never know until you try it.
That's right. I've been interested in SOULNOTE products for a while, so I'm glad I had the chance to try them this time.
Master, did you end up wanting the SOULNOTE A-0?
It's a bit of a mixed bag.